From WCPO-9, it's a new day.
And welcome back. I'm Whitney Miller. If you ever thought of treating yourself to a night at the opera, this month might be the perfect time to do it. The Cincinnati Opera is celebrating something extraordinary this season. 2 commissions of original works, one inspired by stories of local teens dealing with common generational issues, and another focusing on deeply relevant matters of racial justice. Here's a little preview. How beautiful. And joining us this morning is Evans Mirageas, the Harry T. Wilks Artistic Director of Cincinnati Opera. Thank you so much for being here. Joining us this morning, that was beautiful. That was from CASTOR and Patience.
That is the finale to the opera. It's Patience, one of the 2 title characters, really summing up everything, but also posing a question that she doesn't answer, which one of the things I love about drama is sometimes it's not all tied up in a bow, but it's also very, very compelling.
Yes, the Cincinnati Opera is the 2nd oldest opera company in the U.S. and with such a rich history, there were many milestones. It seems this year we will celebrate some of those moments.
Yes, it's delight deferred because we were going to celebrate our 100th anniversary in the summer of 2020, and everybody knows what happened that summer. Nothing.
Yes, nothing. It was a mess.
Yeah, it was a big mess. But summer 2021, we presented an amazing season in Summit Park at Blue Ash. But we're home. Music Hall has been our home since the early 1970s, and it's so good to be back. And our home, our second home, as it were, not our vacation home, but our second home, is the School for Creative and Performing Arts, SCPA, which is just at the corner of Central Parkway and Elm Street, a stone's throw from our building. It has a beautiful 750-seat theater, and that's where we're doing our 2 world premieres.
Wow. And so you've commissioned 2 operas with some of the members of the creative team with local connections.
William Menefield is a born and bred Cincinnatian. Yeah. Not only that, he is a graduate of Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati's famed CCM, the College Conservatory of Music.
See, that's him there.
Yeah, and he is not only a classically trained composer and pianist, but also a phenomenal jazz musician. So William brings to the task of composing an opera, he calls it a genre salad. He has so many musical traditions upon which he can call to create his music that it's just a delight, this new opera that he wrote for us called Fierce.
So I was just going to ask you, could you tell us a little bit about Fierce and its message? Is there any clues in the title?
We made a commitment several years ago to reach communities we had never served before, to talk about subjects that have a Cincinnati connection but also worldwide impact. We collaborated with 2 great Cincinnati institutions, Wordplay, which is an after-school program for young women and men who want to learn how to write, and the Music Resource Center, same thing with music. And from those 2 institutions, we gathered stories, Sheila Williams gathered stories of 14 girls over many, many hours of just listening to them. And she distilled all those stories into these 4 archetypal characters who are the muses, we call them. These are the 4 main characters of Fierce. Wow. And it really is about what every young child, female child, goes through, which is growing up. It applies to everyone, but this happens to be 4 women who are figuring out where they belong in the world, how to fight their battles, how to overcome their fears, how to become adults.
I know that that's probably something I could have used to watch when I was a young woman, but Fierce, that opens again on July 6th, and CASTOR and Patience on July 21st. Both operas are at the SCPA's Corbett Theater at 7:30 p.m. You can also find more information about the creative team, the singers, and the music on their website, cincinnatiopera.org. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about these 2 productions?
CASTOR and Patience is a story that relates to everyone as well, because we all ask those questions of ourselves. What is home? What is family? What is important? That's the overarching emotional message, but it also deals with a very important social issue, which is the theft of black land. Ever since Reconstruction, black-owned land has been systematically stolen from its rightful owners by all sorts of nefarious means. And it is it overarches the story, but it also sets the framework for a family conflict that has to be resolved one way or the other. But it also reveals all sorts of secrets about the family. It's a wonderful family drama with a much bigger social issue as part of it.
And do you feel that it's important to display those social issues in art? How do you feel like that it helps the audience?
I think it's become more and more important with every passing decade. If opera is not going to become something that just sits in a museum, as it were, we all love our ABCs, Aida, Bohème, and Carmen. But if the art form is going to continue to have a place at the table in American society today, we have to examine ourselves. But opera's been examining its society ever since its beginnings in the early 1600s in Italy. It's just that we're doing it for the people with whom we live and interact today, with new musical languages and new artists to create them.
Well, I am excited to check both of these out. I want to thank you so much for joining us here today, Mr. Mirageas. It is exciting to see the work that's being done, and I'm so glad that you're back home and you are actually able to celebrate where you belong.